So, hi, I'm Johan. Thanks for having me. I'm born and raised in Berlin, and I believe talent is universal, but opportunity is not. And to this end, 5 years ago, I co-founded an organization. We're called Imagine Foundation, technically speaking. And we help people from Egypt, Syria, Afghanistan, Jordan, and now also many African countries and beyond to find work in Europe, because we believe it makes Europe and the world a better place if we allow people to move more freely across borders. 5 years ago, we talked to many people who already lived here in Germany and in Berlin, right? People from Egypt and other places. And what they told me was, the visa process is an issue, and it's great there are folks like Localyze who support companies with that and indirectly also support talent. But from the talent perspective, the main issue is finding a job. Yeah, so they said, hey, Johan, I found a job. It was very hard. I had more than 250 applications, all unsuccessful, and it's really demotivating. And I persisted and I made it, right? And sometimes they made it to great companies, like companies everybody knows. Yeah. And so I wondered, how many people must there be who despaired after the 7th or the 10th or the 100th of rejections? Yeah, and so from that realization, we thought, hey, wouldn't it be nice if we had a program that helps people better understand how the German job market works, understand their own strengths and weaknesses, get a little bit of CV advice, LinkedIn advice, and other communication advice. And so we saw that people loved this idea. We quickly built it. It still exists to today. We now call it our core program. Yeah, so initially we were basically just having a service for folks from many different countries, right? And we're open to nearly everybody. But then when the Taliban came to power 2 years ago and Kabul fell, we saw, all right, we gotta directly help those people. We had already been in touch with some Afghan fellows, but we've always found it quite hard to get them out of the country and into jobs here in Europe. But that didn't make us stop, right? So we quickly reached out to them. We heard from them that obviously there was a huge need for them to get out of the country. Many of them feared for their lives. And so just overnight, basically, we spun up Talent Airlift Afghanistan. And unlike many other organizations that did tremendously valuable work, I want to give a shout out to Kabul Luftbrücke, for example, who used different means of trying to get people out. We again brought in our perspective that you can get them out via work visa and through great coaching and matching with companies. And so it was so beautiful. We had lots of, hundreds, I think at some point nearly thousands of volunteers coming in, wanting to support, helping Afghans. We had Localyze support as well. And I think Localyze in particular was instrumental in, also convincing companies that yes, Afghanistan is going through a massive crisis, but yes, also we know how to get people out through the embassies in Pakistan and other neighboring countries. We have the experience. And so, there are literally people here now in Germany that wouldn't be here without Localyze and maybe a little bit of support from our volunteers as well. We're working now for over a year and also with Localyze support. And there we want to support women in Afghanistan, not through a work visa, but women who are students and they can't study anymore, right? Because the Taliban told women to not pursue any studies anymore. So they literally sat at home and couldn't do anything. Frankly, sometimes they didn't even have internet because they only had internet in their universities. And so what we're doing right now with a small team of volunteers is working closely with 10 Afghan women, trying to get them out via student visa. And the first 5 have already arrived, some of them just 2 days ago. We also have a Ukraine program. So when Ukraine happened, it was a bit different, right? People were already fleeing and they're already coming, but we again paired them with job coaches and helped many of them actually find jobs very quickly. So, lots of Localyze team members have been volunteers, both with the Ukrainian side and the Afghanistan side of Imagine, coaching people, but then also really bringing in the specific visa knowledge that we didn't have and frankly couldn't have built. And, as I said before, it made the difference between Afghans stranded in Iran getting their visa or not. It made the difference for so many others, between getting hired and not getting hired just because of these visa issues. So forever thankful.